What's up, guys? I'm back, and I'm going to be going over the specialization and talents for today. I'm going to be doing Feral, uh, both tank and DPS. Um, and as you can see, I've picked tank spec for right now. So these are the 4 core abilities you will get. Uh, let's start with Mangle, which is a 6-second cooldown. Hit your enemies hard. Use as often as possible to cause high damage and keep enemies angry at you instead of your enemies. Friends, mind you, sorry. Um, and then you get Lacerate. That's a 3-second cooldown. Lacerates the enemy target, dealing 25,405 damage. Every 3 seconds, the effect will deal 987 bleed damage and grant a 12% chance to reset the cooldown on Mangle. Stacks up to 3 times and lasts 15 seconds. Savage Defense increases chance to dodge by 40% for 6 seconds. And Frenzied Regeneration. This one actually changed quite a bit. It is now an instant cast, 1.5 second cooldown. Instantly converts up to 60 rage into health at the rate of 1% health gained per 3 rage consumed. Now, if you noticed back in Cataclysm or previous expansions like in Wrath, Frenzied Regeneration actually was a 3-minute cooldown. So this is actually a very useful talent, and they wanted people to use it more often. So I kind of like that Frenzied Regeneration is now a 1.5 second cooldown and not a 3-minute, oh my god, what do I do, when it's not on or not off cooldown. So now let's go into the actual talents. As you can see, it's 15, 30, 45, 60, 75, and 90, the levels that you get talents. This is a complete change. There is no, oh, you pick this tree, you gotta choose these talents. It splits between 4 for the druid, for talents. Now, at level 15, you will get 3 sets of spells, and it looks like, well, 2 of the 3 are movement. Feline Swiftness increases your movement speed by 15%. That seems pretty good. Not for bear, though. Displacer Beast teleports forward 20 yards. Best used to escape and flee from melee attackers. Seems more PvP oriented. Wild Charge grants a movement ability that varies by shapeshift form, 15-second cooldown. Non-shapeshifted, fly to an ally's position. Bear form, charge to an enemy, immobilizing them for 4 seconds. Cat form, leap behind an enemy, dazing them for 3 seconds. In Moonkin form, bound backward. Travel form, you leap forward 20 yards. And aquatic form increases swim speed and an additional 200% for 5 seconds. These two don't, well, that's good for kitty form, most likely, and PvP situations. This one's more PvP oriented, and so I'm gonna pick this one. At level 30, you get Nature Swiftness, which is an instant 1-minute cooldown. When activated, your Cyclone, Entangling Roots, Healing Touch, Hibernate, Nourish, Rebirth, or Regrowth becomes instant, free, and castable in all forms. The healing and duration of the spell is increased by 50%. This seems actually very useful to me personally. It seems very useful in pretty much any situation. Renewal instantly heals the druid for 30% of maximum health. Usable in all shapeshift forms. This is an instant 2-minute cooldown. It's pretty good. Cenarian Ward, 40-yard range, and it's an instant cast, 30-second cooldown. Protects a friendly target, causing any damage taken to heal the target for 8,588 every 2 seconds for 6 seconds. Gaining the healing effect consumes the Cenarian Ward, usable in all shapeshift forms, lasts 30 seconds. Now, all three of these look really good. But in this case, I'm going to take Renewal for a second 2-minute cooldown. Well, not a second, but another 2-minute cooldown. At 45, you get 3 new spells. Fairy Swarm grants an improved version of Fairy Fire that also reduces the target's movement speed by 50% for 15 seconds. This talent replaces Fairy Fire. Now you'll still have Fairy Fire, but it'll just upgrade the Fairy Fire. So that's decent. Seems really good. Mass Entanglement. It's 30-yard range, instant 2-minute cooldown. Roots your target in place for 20 seconds and spreads to an additional nearby enemies. Affects 5 total targets. Damage caused may interrupt the effect, usable in all shapeshift forms. This seems more PvP oriented in my opinion. You guys may actually, tanks may like to use it for, say, like AoE pulls, so that they can keep the aggro or help build up the aggro, but it's really preference on that one. Typhoon, instant 20-second cast. Summons a violent typhoon that strikes targets in front of the caster within 30 yards, knocking them back and dazing them for 6 seconds. Usable in all shapeshift forms. Now, Typhoon used to be a Moonkin form only spell, so it looks like they're giving Typhoon to all the spellcasters and forms. But for this one, I am going to actually pick Fairy Swarm. Level 60, you get Soul of the Forest. This one is Isina's Blessing grants a benefit which varies by your combat specialization. Balanced, when lunar eclipse ends, you gain 20 solar energy, and when a solar eclipse ends, you gain 20 lunar energy. Feral, your finishing moves grant 2 energy per combo point. Guardian, Mangle now generates an additional 2 rage. Restoration, you gain 50% haste for your next spell when you cast Swiftmend. It actually feels like a kind of an oh shit button, really, in my opinion. Incarnation, instant 3-minute cooldown. Activates a superior shapeshifting form appropriate to your specialization for 30 seconds. You may freely shapeshift in and out of this form for its duration. Balance, chosen of Elune. Improved Moonkin form that gains 25% increased arcane and nature damage while Eclipse is activated. Feral, you get King of the Jungle. Improved cat form that allows the use of all abilities which normally require stealth, and allows the use of Prowl while in combat. As Guardian, you get Son of Ursoc. Improved bear form that reduces the cooldown on melee damage abilities and growl by 1.5 seconds. Restoration, you get Tree of Life. Tree of Life form that increases healing done by 15%, increases armor by 120%, and enhances Life Bloom, Wild Growth, Regrowth, Entangling Roots, and Wrath spellcasts. So it seems that they're bringing the Tree of Life back. Yes, I looked into it, and they are bringing the permanent Tree of Life back. You still get your older, well, your Wrath Tree of Life look, but and you also get the Cataclysm Tree of Life. Okay, but moving on. Anyway, you get Force of Nature, 40-yard range, instant 3-minute cooldown. Summons 3 Ents to assist in the druid's current combat role for 1 minute. Trent capabilities vary by specialization, usable in all shapeshift forms. This seems very useful for healing, for DPS, uh, for PvP even. This seems very useful, but right now I am going to use Incarnation. Now at 75, which is the final one, you get Disorienting Roar. It's an instant 30-second cooldown. Invokes the spirit of Ursol to roar, disorienting all enemies within 10 yards for 3 seconds. Any damage caused will remove the effect, usable in all shapeshift forms. Then you get Ursol's Vortex, 30-yard range, instant 30-second cooldown. Conjures a vortex of wind at the destination location that reduces the movement speed of all enemies within 8 yards by 50%. The first time an enemy attempts to leave the vortex, winds will pull the enemy back to the center. Lasts 15 seconds, usable in all shapeshift forms. Then you get Mighty Bash. It's a melee range, instant 50-second cooldown. Invokes the spirit of Ursak to stun the target for 5 seconds. Usable in all shapeshift forms. This seems really useful. They all really are, but I'm going to use Ursol's Vortex because it seems like the Vortex would help hold aggro if you lose aggro or whoever or whatnot. At level 90, you will get Heart of the Wild. It's 40-yard range. Instant 6-minute cooldown. 6-minute cooldown. Dramatically improves the druid's ability to serve combat roles outside of normal specializations for 45 seconds. Balance. Healing spells generate lunar and solar energy and benefit from lunar and solar eclipse. While in bear form, grants additional agility and armor and reduces the chance you'll be critically hit by melee attacks. Feral regenerates mana every second and increases the damage done by your spells. While in bear form, granting additional armor reduces the chance you'll be critically hit by melee attacks. Grants additional intellect for Guardian. It grants the additional intellect, regenerates mana every second, increases the damage done by your spells, and allows rejuvenation to be cast while shapeshifted. In Restoration, grants additional intellect, hit chance, and expertise. While in bear form, grants an additional armor and reduces the chance you'll be critically hit by melee attacks. In addition, increases the damage done by your spells, and damage spells cost no mana. That is very long-winded, but it is a very good cooldown in my eyes. Dream of Cenarius. Wrath, Starfire, Star Surge, and melee abilities increase healing done by your next healing spell by 30%. Non-instant cast of Nourish, instant cast of Nourish, Healing Touch, and Regrowth increases the damage done by your next damaging spell or ability by 30%. Each of these bonuses lasts 30 seconds and cannot be gained more often than once every 30 seconds. And then you get Disentanglement. Shapeshifting now removes removes roots, sorry. In addition, shape-shifting into a form heals the druid for up to 15% of maximum health. Healing is proportional to time elapsed since this effect was last triggered, researching its maximum after 60 seconds. Now, these actually seem very useful talents, but really, I think I'm going to be going for Heart of the Wild at 90. So let me learn these, and next I will actually be talking about, in my next video, about how they changed and what other spells are taken out, changed, put in. I'll go more in depth with those spells. And I also will be putting out a feral DPS video in the next one. So with that being said, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video.